Greetings, everyone. Greetings, dear Gemini. This is Tarot Lumination, and we have a mini playlist for you for late April 2019. The reason we're doing this is because I'm noticing some patterns that are actually very dynamic, potentially quite stressful too. And I'm just trying to keep everybody appraised. Just think of this as a weather report, okay? I'll just go through the basic dates. This is just raw information, and then I'll give you an illustration. And we're going to pull some very, very elementary but powerful spread, and then a little oracle for you, okay? So April 11th, it might have already passed by the time you see this, but April 11th, Jupiter's going retrograde in Sagittarius. I'm not going to do the interpretations here. I'm just giving you data, okay? April 19th, full moon in Libra, opposing the Aries sun at 29 degrees. April 20th, the very next day, the sun enters Taurus. Mercury is now in Aries, and Venus is entering Aries. So there's a lot of shifts and dynamism happening here. April 25th, Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn, okay? April 30th, Saturn goes retrograde in Capricorn, okay? And Mars is in Gemini all month. So it's quite dynamic. Well, I'm just going to focus on one key aspect that jumps out to me. So I want to share that with you. It's this thing here. Don't be scared. Whoa. This is a Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle for late April 2019. And as you can see, I've got a couple of red alerts here. You can kind of, if you want to, you can ignore this one here because there's not a lot of accent on it except for when the moon passes around whenever it is, the 11th. Okay, we could mark it over here. So around the 11th, this is quite a significant axis. Also, let me just get it close up here. April 11th, we have this axis, very dominant. April 20th, we have this axis dominant. And they happen to be in the cardinal signs here. Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, Aries. Now the thing is, this full moon is right on the tippy edge of when the sun moves into Scorpio, moves into Taurus, okay, over here. And it's going to be opposed by the Scorpio moon over here. So right here, around the 20th of the month, my feelings are going to get very volatile. Okay, we've got Uranus, the planet of volatility. It's a full moon, so everything's coming to a head. It's hard squared by this axis here. So, you know, regarding relationships in general, relationships have a chance to really, really flare up. A lot of things could come to the surface. There could be all sorts of contention, all sorts of amazing realizations and awakenings. There could be a lot of pressure to conform. There could be a lot of pressure to release and let go. There could be a lot of pressure to reveal and make things clear. This is a very strong alignment. It's a very heavy kind of pressure coming from the Pluto-Saturn thing. It's really about like coming into balance. I guess I call it like the karma police. Think of it as the police of the zodiac here, putting a lot of pressure on everything and everyone to do things according to good old-fashioned three-dimensional protocols. And it's all being challenged. All of this status quo hierarchy is being challenged by this and this and this. So, okay, without going into any detail, I just wanted to let you know those dates, especially around the 20th, volatile. So what I want to do is treat this as a situation. So I'm going to use an elementary situational spread here that I love so much. We use this a lot on the channel. I know there's so many other spreads we could do, but I really love this one because it's like a bullet. It's like a sniper bullet. It just goes straight to the point and does what it does. And then you can reinterpret however you want, okay? So let's get straight on with it. I'm going to really focus on relationships, okay? The combustibility, the revelations, the awakenings, the revolutions, the the balancing out of things, how all that Libra energy that wants to be all fair and balanced is going to be opposed by the Aries energy, which wants things to be a certain way. And it's also interesting because Uranus is so close. So there's a lot of volatility, okay? Here we go. Cards are well shuffled in advance, but I'd like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. Thank you, Gemini, for your patience. Here we go. What's the situation? What's the challenge? And how are we going to handle this? Okay, let's have a look at the weather. We have the Hierophant. Okay, so it looks here, to me, it looks like there's a very strong external pressure to do everything by the book, the old-fashioned way, to do things properly as they've been done for thousands of years. And any attempt to disrupt this will meet with resistance. Not necessarily over hostile, but more like a shun, like shunning, like a, when people misbehave in religion, they get excommunicated, things like that. There are other ways we could interpret this right now, but I'm just giving you my personal vibe straight off the top here. A strong energy to abide by the rules, do things according to the book in a very, I would say, three-dimensional way without arguing. Please, in other words, please do not dare challenge the status quo. Thank you very much. Now let's have a look over here. What's the situation for you, Gemini? Okay, well, you're not having any of that. So with the Page of Swords here, the Gemini energy is saying, you know what? Sorry, that's not acceptable. I am a Gemini, and I have my ways and thoughts and feelings and ideas about how things need to be done. I understand that Jupiter is going retrograde, opposing me and everything like that. But again, I'm not going to let that stop me. I am determined to stick by my own truth. Thank you very much. And if you have a problem with that, or you, actually, let's do an illustration. Let's do an illustration. Okay, so for you, Gemini, the chart would look sort of like over this, like over here. Okay, we'll put you on the horizon. So, it's happening right at the tippy edge of your love life over here in the 5th house, 11th house in friendship. And the North Node is over here in your 2nd house of value and values. Okay? So there could be a lot of disruption here in relationship dynamics, love and relationship, that is really not appealing to you, and you might be highly resistant. You might be very tempted to call out certain truths that need to be called out according to your understandings about how life and love relationship works. And if other people can't handle that, that's a problem. That's their problem, not yours. Okay? So what is the challenge with all of this? Okay. Like a deep, it's almost like, to me, it feels like resentment. With the 6 of Pentacles, what I'm feeling here is that there's a deep fear that you will never find harmony or balance or compensation or respect from another. And there's a fear of, being left out, where someone else gets all the benefits of the relationship dynamic, while you are left suffering, going without. And it's almost like you don't have any control in the matter. And that's very upsetting. I feel that the way the planets are moving right now, again, is very disruptive. And it could affect you in such a way that, where is the harmony? Where is the justice? Where is the balance? Where are my dues? Think of it in terms of karma. I am due for this, 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 and this, and this. I've done my work on that and that and that. I'm a respectable person. I have my rights, my attitudes, and my beliefs, and I'm entitled to all that. And yet deep inside, there is a deep fear of everything coming unglued, and a lot of fractious disharmony, unfairness. between you and another and you. It might be that things are really out of balance, and it's being exposed, and you're being vocal about it, or you're expressing it because the planets are just forcing everything to come to like a boiling head. All right, like a steaming kettle. Okay, so how are we going to handle this? Because this is highly volatile. I just pointed it out here. And this is for everybody. It's not just you, Gemini, so don't take it too personally, but I'm marking you over here. Also, Mars is in Gemini, okay? So that's adding to the volatility. That could make you extremely volatile and determined and action-oriented about like being you. Like, I have a right to be me. Thank you very much. So all I'm suggesting is that this would make sense. The thing is, it's highly volatile, highly vulnerable to combustibility, and who knows where that'll lead. So how are we going to handle this? With the Uranian thing going on just after the 20th, when the Scorpio moon opposes Uranus, that's great volatility there as well. Just moving on. So how are we going to handle it? Okay, my feeling is handle this thing extremely carefully. This is the card of art. The art of care, the art of healing and being healed. So my feeling is that all of this volatility, all the combustibility, all the things that are being called out, if you are being called out, Gemini, for errors and misdemeanors, like, let's say the Pluto Saturn zodiac police are basically pulling you over to the side of the road and saying, hey, Gemini, what's going on in your love life, in your relationships, in your world? Like things are messed up in some way or another. We need to put things right. Show us your credentials, show us your ID, like what's going on. So in some ways, the volatility might be very inspiring for you, but it could mean, my feeling is that it would be very easy to get into a lot of trouble really quickly, and then not have an exactly well-prepared strategy for getting out of it. So what I'm suggesting here is please try and get through April in a very serene way. Try and get help from your invisible friends, divine guidance. Just like the healing power of love, literally invoke it from up above. Ask it to enter your life from up above, specifically for healing in the dynamics of your relationship. Whatever is not working, I have a feeling, is going to be exposed here. And the challenge of finding any harmony and balance is really extreme. And so that's putting a lot of pressure on you to find the harmony and balance consciously and deliberately against all the pressure to be combustible, to be volatile. In other words, if you're acting unconsciously, you might be very prone to just irrational, vocal behavior that actually makes the volatility and the combustibility even more of a problem. And so that puts the pressure on you to be even more conscious than ever before and look towards the healing aspect where you're going to have, where you would have to, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to command you or order you what to do, how to do it, but all I'm suggesting is that it's going to require a very delicate balancing act. The energy of balancing here, and the art of living here, the art of actually creating true love and true harmony. It may not be anything to do with the path that you might think it might be. And instead, or with the retrogrades, it might require having to retreat and deliberately kind of muzzle yourself, muzzle the volatility, muzzle the combativeness, muzzle the like the extreme desire to be exactly who you are, how you are, the way you want things to be for you right now, from now and always, as opposed to taking the relationship into consideration. So there's a lot of, to me, it looks like there's a lot of pressure on you to be very conscientious of the other party, as much as you might be fuming inside. It would be, it's a very delicate, this to me looks like it's a very delicate balancing act, and it's your responsibility to do that. It's your responsibility to balance and harmonize and get through all of this without being damaged or causing damage, okay? I want to go back over here. Okay, I'm just going to put this on the screen for you. And then you can reinterpret this however you want. Okay, this is just a little quickie, and I hope you get something out of it. All the best, Gemini. Thank you very, very much.